Welcome to this Tutor to You Sociology topic video on culture and identity. In this video we're going to look at the work of Stanley Parker on the sociology of leisure. Stanley Parker's The Sociology of Leisure is a key text that explores how people spend their free time and how this relates to their jobs, their social class and broader society. Parker was interested in understanding the social patterns behind leisure activities and how leisure fits into people's lives. In this video we're going to break down some of the main ideas in Parker's work to demonstrate how leisure is impacted by social structures. In simple terms, leisure is defined as being the time that people spend outside of work, when they can relax and engage in activities that they enjoy. This might include their hobbies, sports, watching TV or spending time with family and friends. However, Parker explained that leisure isn't just about having free time, it's about how people choose to use that time. Sociologists study leisure because it reveals a lot about people's lifestyles, values and the structure of society. Parker developed a theory about how work and leisure are connected, identifying three main ways that people's jobs influence how they spend their leisure time. Firstly, there was an extension pattern. In some cases, people's leisure activities are closely related to their work. This is especially true for people who love their jobs or work in creative or active roles. For example, a professional musician might spend their free time playing instruments or going to concerts, which is similar to their day-to-day work. In this case, work and leisure blend together. In a neutrality pattern, work and leisure are separate parts of life. For some people, their job is just something they do to earn money and their free time is completely different. For example, someone who works in an office all day might enjoy spending their evenings playing sports or watching TV, activities that have nothing to do with their job. In an oppositional pattern, people will choose leisure activities that are very different from their work as a way to escape or balance out their job. For example, someone who works in a stressful or physical demanding job might prefer relaxing passive activities like watching TV or going for a quiet walk during their free time. Parker's theory showed that the type of work that people do can shape their leisure activities in important ways. People may carry aspects of their work into their leisure, keep the two separate, or deliberately choose activities that provide them with a break from their work. One of the key ideas in the sociology of leisure is that social class plays a big role in shaping leisure activities. Social class refers to the group or status people belong to in society and is often based on factors like wealth, education and occupation. Parker argued that people from different social classes tend to have different types of leisure activities because of their backgrounds, resources and values. For example, middle-class people who tend to have higher levels of education and income often participate in what are called high culture activities. These might include going to art galleries, theatres, museums or concerts. These activities are often seen as more cultured or prestigious in society. On the other hand, working class people who might have less income or access to these resources often engage in more communal and accessible leisure activities like going to the pub, playing sports or watching television. Parker's research showed that social class influences not only what people do in their leisure time, but also how they think about leisure. For example, middle class people might view leisure as a time for self-improvement or education, while working class people might see it as a time to relax and unwind from a hard day's work. Even in the 1970s, when Parker wrote the book, technology was already starting to change how people spent their leisure time. Television was a central part of daily life, offering a new way for people to relax and be entertained. Parker observed that TV was particularly popular among the working class because it was affordable, easy to access and provide a shared experience. Applying Parker's observations to contemporary society, we can see that technology has expanded with the rise of the internet, smartphones and social media. Just like television in the 1970s, modern technology has transformed leisure, making it more accessible and convenient, but also raising questions about how much time we spend on screens and whether this is a positive or a negative development. Parker also touched on how gender affects leisure activities. Traditionally, men and women had different roles in society, and this influenced the way they spent their free time. For example, men had more free time for leisure because women were typically responsible for housework and childcare, which limited their opportunities for leisure. When women did have leisure time, it was often spent on activities like shopping or visiting family, which reflected their traditional domestic roles. Today, while gender roles have changed significantly, Parker's observations remain relevant. There are still differences in how men and women experience leisure, with women often balancing paid work, housework, and caregiving responsibilities, which leaves them less time for leisure activities. Another important idea in Parker's work is that leisure activities are often a way for people to express their identity. For example, someone who enjoys extreme sports like rock climbing or skydiving might see themselves as adventurous and daring. Similarly, someone who enjoys reading books and going to the theatre might view themselves as intellectual or cultured. In this way, leisure activities are not just about fun or relaxation. They also allow people to show who they are and what they value. This concept is relevant today, especially with the rise of social media, where people often share their leisure activities online as a way of projecting a certain image or identity. Stanley Parker's The Sociology of Leisure is a valuable work that helps us to understand how and why people spend their free time in the ways that they do. He shows that leisure is not just about personal choice, but is influenced by factors like work, social class, gender, and technology. By studying leisure, sociologists can gain an insight into broader social patterns and how individuals interact with society. Even though Parker wrote his book in the 1970s, his ideas continue to be relevant today, as we see how leisure activities shape identity and reflect social structures. That concludes this Toothless You Sociology topic video on culture and identity, looking at the sociology of leisure by Stanley Parker. Thanks for watching.